Hey guys, this is just a quick little catch-up thing. I've not made good on uploading a video every week. I'm honestly really terrible at this. I am halfway through with the first draft, but there's a few reasons for this. First reason is because I completely underestimated how busy my main job was going to be. There's a few things that suddenly came up in January, and my job had to make a pivot, which is extremely time consuming. The second reason is over the last few weeks, I think the second reason is probably the bigger reason, honestly, but over the last few weeks, I couldn't really shake this problem that I had with constantly rewriting what I knew wasn't going to be in the film. I did what I said. I took the beats from my beat sheet and then put them into the script. But here's the thing. There's some of the things that I wrote on the script that were on the beat sheet that I hated. So I rewrote them. There's other things that I wrote that were on there that didn't seem to mesh well with the characters. So I rewrote those things. The characters and the story was starting to kind of change a little bit. So I just kept rewriting some of the scenes and some of the beats. I kept doing this, and this slowed me down to the point where I almost hated writing it. I thought maybe I just needed to redo the beat sheet completely. Maybe go back and completely start over. I walked away from it. It was hurting to look at, and it was disappointing. It was really disappointing me. So I started to think of other things. I looked through my 100 concepts and thought, oh, maybe I'll write this one instead, or I'll write one of these other ones. But then I watched a video from one of my favorite filmmakers on YouTube, Ryan Connolly from Riot. And this was a big thing that I really needed to hear.
Great writers aren't great first drafters, they're great rewriters. Then you have the master, Stephen King, who said, don't write it right, just write it and then make it right later. Or Ernest Hemingway's very succinct, the first draft of anything is shit. Then you even have Sylvester Stallone, who wrote the Rocky films, Rambo, and a ton more.
So on a legal pad, I'll go, goes to here, sees his mother, goes to the store, goes. So I'll have like 10 things of beats where he's going, gets on a horse, goes swimming, boom, boom, boom. And I do that. And I know in my heart, 80% of it will be no good. But you're getting through the screenplay. You're getting it done. Because a rewrite is always more fun and much more enjoyable. I don't believe people should look for perfection or even 50% perfection in the first draft. It's always going to be kind of this, like a child scribbling, but you did it. And the main thing for me is to, once you have that accomplishment, let's say you could do it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Again, maybe 10% will be good, but you've now have this sense of accomplishment, you did it, and the rewriting process starts, and that's when the fun begins.
For me, that is all massively helpful and encouraging. You cut yourself some slack. Recognize that the first pass probably won't be great, but you'll get there through iteration. It's that idea that helps me get started with the actual writing on the blank page.
I know this. I'm in the film, Noam Kroll's film incubator, and there's a group of really talented filmmakers, and all of them seem to have better stories than I do. I don't know, I'm writing something that I know I'd watch, and I thought, I just started thinking, is that even really a good idea? Most people probably don't want to watch what I want to watch, but Ryan said, and Noam said, and Sylvester Stallone said, what all of them said is just to write. Get through that first draft. Stallone said, maybe only 10% of it is going to be good.
Maybe 10% will be good.
I can work with those percentages. I work with percentages for my job, so that's something that I can do. So I'm going to write this. I'm going to write this. That's what's going through my head. I'm going to write this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Then another thing popped into my head. It kind of occurred while watching the latest video or latest meeting in the film incubator. Was how expensive this film was going to be. I'm not made of money. I don't have a lot of money. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to pay for to make this, this thing happen. my original intent was to make a film with no budget or just use what I have. But the more I thought about it, the more money kept coming into my head about, or the thought of how much I'm going to have to spend to get this going. I got really discouraged by that. And here's the thing. When I get really discouraged, that really kills my creativity. That kills my drive. My emotions are a major factor that I have a hard time pushing past. But another thing happened about a month ago, a couple weeks ago. On Twitter, this tweet comes up from Dan Lotz. I immediately follow this guy because we just kind of have this same kind of vibe and energy, and I see we've even retweeted some of the same tweets, so it was an instant follow for me. Also, I try to follow like inspirational and innovative filmmakers, people that I can turn to. But Dan Lotz makes a feature film in 1 week on no budget. That instantly, I'm interested in hearing what he has to say. And in this video about making a feature in 1 week, he talks about the mindset.
My final tip is more of a mindset tip. I think so many people don't believe that they can make a feature film in a short amount of time that's going to be quality. Just making films is practice. Just making art is what you need to do to get to the next thing you're going to create.
It's practice. Being creative is practice. I don't know why I never thought of this. I never thought this instinctively anyway. So I have this new drive. Again, I'm still working against my own free time. That's something that I can't escape. I'm literally working like 14 to 16 hours days sometimes, and I'm working on my days off sometimes. So that's something that I will not escape for the time being. I'm just gonna have to work around that. But in that time, I was inspired by, backtrack a little bit. After Dan Lotz's tweet and after listening to this thing and after being discouraged, there was a little point in time where I got my drive back and I thought, I kind of want to try my hand in this like folk filmmaking thing that he has. And I started writing another budget feature. This one's a lot more looser. It's definitely more in line with the folk filmmaking mindset. I love that saying. I love that title, folk filmmaking. That's something that Dan Lotz created. I saw that there was a bunch of other new filmmakers that are starting to pop up with the folk filmmaking mindset, and now I'm obsessed with trying to find more filmmakers like this. I guess that's really it. Hey, so really weird timing, but Noam actually has an interview with Dan Lotz now on his podcast, Show Don't Tell. I shot this video about a week ago, and I just never really got around to editing it. I'm still writing the other budget film here little by little, but and I'm also slowly getting back to writing the first feature. So a little update on that. Thanks again for listening to me and just kind of hanging out with me on with these videos. I was hoping to try to do this weekly, but it's really hard to do these things. Even if it's just a basic talking video, maybe what I should start doing is maybe just using my phone or something, just something that's a little more spur of the moment, but trying to set up and trying to do this while I'm work. I'm like literally at work right now, and I'm taking the moments right before a meeting just to shoot this thing. So, okay, thanks for hanging out with me and have a wonderful day.